All right, everybody, it's halftime now. GWTV Unstoppable here. Casey Decker at the GWTV studio. We've got Cole Anschustige live in the Charles E. Smith Center. Colonials up right now, 40-36 at the half over the Howard Bison. Close game so far. So, Cole, what's Howard doing that's keeping them so close?
One of the things that stood out to me was Howard's athleticism. They were able to push the ball in transition extremely well, which led to key scores. And also their three-point productivity has been off the charts.
So I've noticed personally that there are at least two players on Howard's team that are pretty much dominating our defense, in R.J. Cole and Charles Williams. Those two players are having a very good night, double-digit points for each of them. So I think that GW needs to step it up on defense a little bit, but so far they are doing a good job of maintaining a lead. They haven't given it up, and so they've shown a good job, I think, of competing with that athleticism. So what is GW doing, do you think, that's allowing them to compete with that athleticism and stay ahead tonight?
What was that, Casey? I couldn't quite hear you.
What is GW doing that you believe is allowing them to compete with Howard's athleticism?
Well, currently we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Casey, I can't quite hear you. I'm going to have to come back.
Come back after we fix those technical difficulties. Our apologies. All right, we're back now. We fixed those technical issues. Our apologies for that. So, Cole, what I was talking about earlier, GW up 40-36 on the Howard Bison. You mentioned Howard is a very athletic team, and they've shown that so far, and that's why they're still in the game. But what is GW doing, do you think, that's allowing them to maintain a 4-point lead despite Howard's performance tonight?
Well, they're getting a lot of offense in the paint. Both Utah, Arnaldo Toro have been able to drive the lane and force the issue and get some fouls, which has led to a lot of opportunities on the charity stripe. So that's been one positive thing for GW. However, there have been a lot of turnovers. I hate to be a broken record and continue to harp on this, but inexcusable mistakes have really limited GW in terms of what they can do on the floor.
Agree with that. The turnovers are always a problem for GW, and it's a real bummer to see that already in this season. Hopefully they can work on that a little bit more, and that's a discipline issue, and I think that comes with this being such a young team. Now, we are seeing a good performance tonight from the two oldest players on the team. That's Yuta Watanabe and Patrick Steeves. Both of them have double-digit points, and Yuta also has 7 rebounds already. So we are seeing, I think, some good performances, and that's why GW has that 4-point lead despite Howard showing tonight.
Yeah, and another thing I think you need to mention is Howard's productivity on 3 points from the 3-point line. I alluded to it earlier, but GW is playing a man defensive scheme and has had a really difficult time guarding the pick and pop, which has led to Howard absolutely trashing GW from behind the 3-point line. So in terms of an improvement that can be made, I need to see more defense on the perimeter.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that as well. And I also, as you mentioned, GW relying on the 3 a little bit, although they are having some success in the paint later in the half. But I do agree that GW tends to rely on the 3 too much, and they were missing those shots at the beginning. I don't really know if they have such a 3-point shooter as they've had in the past that allows that kind of play to be successful. They don't have a Tyler Kavanaugh, and so I think that they're adapting a little bit, especially at the end of the half there. You mentioned they're having a little bit more success in the paint with Ronaldo Toro. So it is good that it seems to me that Maurice Joseph is able, as a coach, to adapt to the strengths and weaknesses of his team as he sees it over the course of the half.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done a better job at getting assisted baskets, but they've depended a lot on slashing the lane, and they just really haven't been able to get the ball into the paint well, which has forced GW to take those perimeter shots. So that's something that they need to improve upon going forward if they want to close out Howard in this game.
All right, so we'll look for a better perimeter defense in the second half. That's all the points we have for this halftime show. GW Colonials up 40-36 over the Howard Bison. It's a close one, but GW still looking strong right now. We'll be back after the game for the post-game show, so stay tuned.